Hey folks, and welcome to slope. This is the first lesson. So slope is essentially tells you the tilt of a line. So if it's going up or if it's going down, that's the slope. You think of like skiing, you hit the slope, so it angles you downwards. So slope is the vertical change over the horizontal change, and we call this the rise over the run. So the rise is the vertical change and the run is the horizontal distance. So the formula for slope is rise over run. And we use this letter m just as a placeholder. M means slope. And you can express it as a fraction or a decimal. Okay? So let's do some examples here. So the first one, calculate the slope in each situation. So it has a rise of 12 for a run of 8. So the slope is rise over run. So in this case is 12 over 8. And you can reduce that to 3 over 2. Or if you want to write it as a decimal, 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. That's the slope. A wheelchair ramp has a rise of 3 feet. So it goes up 3. And it goes over 18. So the rise over run is equal to 3 over 18, which reduces to 1 over 6, which you could write as a decimal as 1.6 repeating, but I'll just leave it as 1 over 6. So snowboard ramp rises, so it goes up 1.25 over a horizontal distance of 5. So the slope is rise over run, which is 1.25 over 5, which reduces to 1 over 4, or if you want to write that as a decimal, that's 0.25. Here's another one. A roof rises 8 feet, so it goes up 8. For a horizontal distance of 18. So the slope, again, is rise divided by run, which is 8 over 18, which reduces to 4 over 9. 4 over 9 means 4 divided by 9, which is 0.44 repeating. Here's another one. A hill rises 10 meters over a horizontal distance of 8. So the slope is rise over run, which is 10 over 8. And you can reduce that to 5 over 4. And 5 divided by 4 is 1.25. So either of those answers are acceptable. A slide covers 3.5 meters of ground and is 2.4 meters tall. So our rise is 2.4. And our run is 3.5. So rise over run. So that's 2.4 over 3.5. Now notice it doesn't say rise over run, but you can assume that the ground is going to be run because that goes horizontal. And if it says tall, that means rise. So sometimes the words, it won't exactly say rise and run, but it'll tell you the height or the horizontal distance. So sometimes you're given the slope, but you need to figure out what the actual measurements of the hill or whatever the situation is. So the slope is 7 over 20. So that means for every 7 units it goes up, it's going to go a horizontal distance of 20. Well, if we don't know, if we have an unknown rise, but we know our run is 100 meters, we can take our original slope and set it equal to a new fraction. So we don't know the new rise, but we do know the run. And what you're going to do is use cross multiplication. So cross multiplication, what you do in this case is you're going to multiply across. So this becomes x times 20 is equal to 7 times 100. Okay, so you end up with 20x is equal to 700. And if you want to figure out what x is, you're going to divide each side by 20. So 700 divided by 20 is 35. So the rise, if the run was 100, the rise in this case would be 35. Okay. Here's another example. The slope of a hill is 3 over 190. So that is the ratio of how much it goes up for how much it goes over. If the hill has a rise of 400, so we're going to set it equal to a new fraction, and the rise is going to be 400. What is the horizontal distance? So we don't know what the run is. Okay. Again, we're going to use our cross multiplication. We're going to end up with 3x is equal to 400 times 90. Okay, and you're going to get 3x is equal to 36,000. And then if you divide by 3, x is going to be 12,000. Oh, you know what? I use 90 instead of 190. So this is not going to be 36. Okay, it's got to be 190 times 400. So that's going to be 76,000. So if you divide that by 3, you get 25,333. Slope of a staircase is 0.95. So this is just a decimal. Well, a decimal, any decimal you can write over 1 to get the fraction. So that's our original slope, is 0.95 over 1. If it rises to 10, what's the run? So we are going to set this equal to a new fraction, and we know the rise, but we don't know the run. So again, use cross multiplication. So 0.95x is equal to 210. So if you divide by 0.95, 210 divided by 0.95 is equal to 221 centimeters, not meters. All right, one more example. Harbinger is building a ramp in 2 sections, both with the same slope. So the first section rises 2 meters for a run of 6.5. So our first slope is going to be 2 over 6.5. How much will it have to rise for the remaining run of 9.8 meters? So we do know the run, but we don't know the new rise. So cross multiply, you get 6.5x is equal to 2 times 9.8. So 2 times 9.8 is 19.6. Divide each side by 6.5. And you get 3.02. So if we're rounding that to the nearest meter, that's going to be 3 meters. And now you're into classwork.